Hey guys, Katrina here, this is Apple Wheelie. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I already had this video recorded, but I lost half of it, so I've have to reshoot it again. It can only happen to me. I'm sorry I haven't been able to upload in a while, but I've been having a bad time with my EDS with a flare-up. If you have EDS yourself, you'll know that sometimes it does flare up really badly and it knocks you for six. But feeling much better now anyway. I'll also have an announcement. EDS UK, which is the charity that I work for, is having a bacon challenge called the Great British Bacon, and they've asked a few of us to post on social media about doing the challenge where we bake items that they have set for us every week, and that will be starting next week, so that should be quite good for people who are into baking. Anyway, on with today's video. If you remember, ages and ages ago, I made a video about Sia, the Australian pop star, coming out as having EDS. Well, she has made a rather controversial film about the autistic community, and in today's video I will tell you why I've lost all respect that I had for her. A lot of disabled creators have compared this film to the film that came out in the 90s about an autistic person, Rain Man. Now, if you've been following this channel since the very start pretty much, you will know I have a mild form of autism called Asperger's syndrome, which is on the low end of the autistic spectrum. And when I was growing up, I was always compared to Rain Man, and because I wasn't as bad as Dustin Hoffman's character was, people always thought that I was not autistic, which is rather ableist, really. People have said that this is very, very like that film, and I have downloaded a copy of the trailer because I'm not going to give Sia my money to watch this, because it does active harm to the autistic community. The portrayal of the autistic character in this film is very, very ableist, to say the least. So let's watch the trailer. Very sad.
My neighbor's passed out on the floor, and I can't feel her pulse.
Although I don't think an autistic person, even at this character's level of autism, would behave like that. I think they would scream or something or start crying if they seen their mum on the floor like that. Now, this is where she meets her sister that she never knew that she had, which is stressful for anybody. Like, I mean, the girl's just lost her mum, like, and I'm sure that's really upsetting for her.
Music? I'm your sister.
Okay, so in this scene, the autistic character, who is called Music, what the hell sort of name is that, like, for anybody? She is having a meltdown, as often happens with people with severe autism, and especially in this case, given that she's went through so much stress, it's not surprising really. Not all autistic people behave like this. It's mostly people at the severe end of autism that behave like this, but not all people with autism. But that's what people won't understand from watching this film.
Hi there.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't.
Thank God for the neighbour. Music is non-verbal, and she uses a communication device, in this case an iPad, to communicate. Other people will use a simplified form of sign language called Makaton to communicate, and other people will use another device called a Tobii Dynavox to communicate. Even if the person can't speak, they will always have some sort of way of communicating with you. whether it be through sign language, as I said, or through the use of a device like this character is using. So don't assume just because they're non-verbal that they can't think for themselves. They clearly can.
She can understand everything you are saying to her.
And if you are happy, press this one.
I am sad.
Very funny, troublemaker.
She sees the world in a completely different way from us.
Even in this film, some of the flashing colours and stuff would be difficult to watch for some people who are autistic because of the bright flashing colours and the quick movements and stuff, because some people get overstimulated by that. Sometimes it can be really upsetting. Like I don't get it that much, thankfully, but it is really, really upsetting for some people. Now, a major problem that myself and other disabled people in the community have, Hollywood and other filmmakers making content about disabled characters, is they don't usually hire a disabled actor to play the role of a disabled character. And this is particularly annoying because we can tell when it's obviously a disabled actor or when it's not a disabled actor. The actress who plays music is not autistic, and the autistic community have held Sia to account for not casting an autistic actress, and Sia had her little moment. I call it a sort of diva moment. According to this article, which I'm putting up on screen now, on Billboard.com, she said, "Why don't you watch my film before you judge it?" Fury on Twitter. It's typical, like, but the autistic community have stood up to defend ourselves, and the Irish actress Brona Way tweeted, "Hi Sia, can I ask you why you didn't cast a disabled actor for this part? It's pretty offensive. I agree. The way that you've chosen to portray this character, people with disabilities are not broken and don't need fixing. Many of my friends have different disabilities," and there are some of the... Sia interrupted her. "I've never referred to music as disabled. Special abilities is what I've always said," which is another sort of derogatory claim or way of referring to the disabled. Apparently, according to Sia, casting someone at her level of function was cruel, not kind. "So I made the executive decision that we would do our best to lovingly represent the community. That is complete and total bullshit. Someone who is lower down the spectrum maybe could have portrayed the character with input from someone who is at the same level on the spectrum as music is. I think she's just gone and made this direct really to make herself look nice in the disabled community, and it has totally backfired on her. The trailer does not explain why music does not speak and makes no direct mention of her disability. But when another commenter asked the singer, who also wrote the script and 10 original songs for the accompanying album, "Did you do any research or consult the community at all?" suggesting it was very condescending. I agree, it is condescending to say it would be cruel to consult a disabled actor. Sia explained her process for prepping for the film. She says that she spent 3 years researching this. Do you believe that? I certainly don't. I call total bullshit on that. Apparently, she later noted that there are 13 people on the spectrum in the film. The National Autism Society also weighed in. That's the national charity for people with autism in the UK, saying Sia has got this one wrong. There are so many talented autistic actors out there. Really, Sia, you should have hired an autistic person as an actor for this role. It's the same as any other disabled character, really. For example, if they portray someone in a wheelchair, they usually either pick a wheelchair that is far too big for them or far too small for them, and then the person who is cast for the role in the the character who's in the wheelchair can't do basic things like push the wheelchair correctly or get up curbs and stuff. It stands out like a sore thumb. Really, Sia, you could have done really lot better with this. Now, it's mostly her reaction that has caused me to lose all respect for Sia. I mean, she could have come straight out and apologised, but no, she had to have a little diva moment. I mean, to crack off like that on the autistic community when they objected to the film is really just plain nasty. And really, Sia, you could have done a lot better. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Definitely don't go and rent this film. It is really bad. A lot of disabled creators have been complaining about it, especially those in the autistic community, and I can see why. I've really thought that Sia was better than this. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe by clicking below, and remember to hit the notification bell, as YouTube does not notify you when I upload a video unless you hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.